This is one of the biggest wedding mistakes I see frequently happen. Booking your venue before you fully laid out your budget or know what you're getting into. Your wedding venue is likely the most expensive decision you will make for your wedding. And honestly, it's where a lot of couples make their biggest mistakes. Hidden fees, vendor restrictions, timing issues, it adds up fast. So today I am giving you the ultimate list of questions to ask any wedding venue before you book so you can walk into that tour like a pro and avoid getting blindsided later. Before we dive in, if you are new here, my name is Marie Hansen. I've been a wedding planner for 5+ years and I was a COVID pandemic bride myself. I started Better Budget Weddings to help couples plan smarter, not just cheaper, so they can spend their budget strategically and have a beautiful wedding no matter what their budget is. Okay, let's start with dates, access, and capacity is kind of like an overarching category. So when you first reach out to your venue, don't just ask if they are available for your date. Make sure you ask these 5 questions. Number 1, is there another wedding happening that day? Because that happens sometimes. Number 2, is the venue exclusive for our use the entire day? Number 3, what is the actual guest capacity, including dance floor, band space, and a backup weather plan? Number 4, is there early access for setup, or are we only allowed to get in 90 minutes early and we'll be rushing throughout the day? Remember, you're not just booking a space, you're booking the flow of your entire day when you book your venue. Section 2 type of questions are going to be around pricing, fees, and payment. This is where people get hit the hardest. Make sure to ask, what is included in the rental fee? Like, do I need to rent tables, chairs, linens, napkins, etc.? Some venues include those and many don't, so make sure you know. 2, what is not included? Setup, cleanup, parking, valet, staff, all of those are different aspects that some venues include and some don't, so make sure you know to ask. Number 3, is there a food and beverage minimum? And is that before taxes and service fee or after? Once you know those questions, you need to get clear on these 3 things. 1, the deposit amount and the refund policy. 2, overtime fees if the party goes too long. 3, sales tax, admin fees, security deposits, all of that. You want the full itemized sample invoice beforehand. If they can't give you that, walk away. Moving on, you want to make sure you ask about food and drink, and this is where it can get tricky. Make sure to ask if you can bring in outside catering, or are you locked into their venue rate, which could be $150 per plate. Ask if they charge a corkage fee if you bring your own alcohol. This is literally a fee for each bottle that they open of the alcohol that you bring. Make sure to ask if bartending is included and if a licensed bartender is required. Also, make sure to ask if you need to get a liquor permit. Also, make sure to ask if tastings are included or if they are extra if it's a venue that provides food and alcohol. And this one's sneaky. Do they charge for cake cutting or coffee service? You'd be shocked how many venues will charge you to cut and plate your cake or to serve coffee. Section 4 kind of revolves around vendors, insurance, and staffing of your wedding event. So some venues require you to use their vendors, and some will charge a fee if you bring in your own. So make sure you ask. 1, are we allowed to hire our own photographer, planner, florist, DJ, etc.? 2, do they need to be licensed and insured? Which, as a side note, I would always make sure your vendors are licensed and insured. If they're not, I probably wouldn't be hiring them. The only time this might come into play is if it's a family friend who's trying to do your coordination or something like that. But other than that, if you're hiring a vendor, always make sure they're licensed and insured. 3, is vendor load-in allowed the day before, or what time are the vendors allowed to start load-in? Also make sure to ask if you need to provide liability insurance, because some venues require you to take out additional liability insurance for your event. And then make sure to ask if there is on-site staff or a coordinator included. Now, I will be honest, a coordinator is not the same thing as hiring a day of coordinator. A venue coordinator is going to help with things like setting up tables, but the day of coordinator is not going to help with things like making sure all your vendors are coordinated, running your ceremony, making sure all of your stuff is set. They're not going to do all of that. So it is important to ask, but that is also something to note. As a planner myself, I work with many venue coordinators, and they're not the same thing as a day of coordinator. Another thing you should probably ask is for bigger weddings, is security included or required? So most venues will actually have a capacity at which you are required to hire security, which is quite interesting. And these security services oftentimes can be booked through the venue, or they will recommend security services for you. Sometimes they will allow you to waive the security services and pay a fee instead. Okay, so now let's talk about backup plans and guest logistics. This is where you save your future self a mental breakdown. Make sure to ask, what is your backup plan for rain or wind? Is there heat, AC, and power for the band? How many bathrooms? Are they accessible? What's the parking situation? People forget to ask about parking all the time, and you would be shocked how many problems this creates. Sometimes it will charge you extra for parking. Sometimes guests have to pay for their parking. Sometimes valet is included. Sometimes you have to pay for valet. Make sure you ask and are clear on what their parking policy is. Also, make sure to ask if they have shuttles for you to use. Is parking free or is it valet only? Make sure to ask all these questions because some venues include shuttles. Some venues will have shuttles for a cheap fee and some venues won't. Bonus points is if they offer getting ready rooms, indoor cocktail hour options, and rooms for storage of decor boxes, photographer, videographer gear, etc. That's really nice. Okay, now moving on to questions around decor and restrictions with the venue. So you've got a Pinterest board, but will the venue even allow any of it? That's the question. So make sure to ask, can I use candles, sparklers, hanging florals, tape, etc.? Can we bring in outside rentals? Sometimes they don't allow you to do this. And is there staff to help set up and break down decor? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Some venues allow full freedom. Others will ban literally everything but fake flowers and table numbers. So always make sure to check with your venue. Let's finally talk about the final details to confirm with your venue. So let's rapid fire these final must asks. Who is the main contact during planning? Can we schedule a venue walkthrough with our vendors? What time do we get access and what time does everything need to be out? What's the cutoff for changes like guest count, layout, etc.? And what happens in case of an emergency, power outages, illness, fire, etc.? You need a venue that has answers to all of these questions, not excuses or confusion. If they have excuses or confusion, please do not book this venue. So I know this was a quick rapid fire episode, but I wanted to make it super bite-sized and helpful for you if you are in your venue search. And if this helped you feel more confident heading into your venue tour, you're gonna love my ultimate free wedding planning checklist. It has tons, like literally 350 planning to-dos. And I promise you won't have to do all of them, but it at least will help you think through every possible decision you would have to make for your wedding day. It also includes vendor negotiation email scripts that I use with my clients to help save money. And it also has my guest tracking tool, which includes guest tracker, RSVP trackers, meal trackers, thank you trackers, all of that stuff included for free. So if you would like it, make sure to grab it below. I will leave the link in the show notes. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want real planning help without the pressure to overspend. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. Finally, please, I would absolutely love if you share this episode with a bride in need or a mother of a bride or a maid of honor or somebody who's involved in someone's wedding process. I'm just here to help you. And the more we can get this podcast out, the better. So thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next week.